So bear with me. A couple things I want to share with you. First off, I'm humbled by all the people here. Tommy would be humbled. He would love the fact that we're in a hockey arena. He's probably right now looking at me saying, this is where I should have been all the time. Why did you wait till then now? So a lot of things I want to say. A lot of things I'm going to tell you about Tommy. A lot of things I want our country to hear, and please bear with me throughout it. Luckily, my support dogs are here. May I see ma'am and legend? If you know anything about me, I have obsessions with small children and Labrador retrievers, and I've had two, and I've actually had three of the U.S. Marshal Service's dogs around here and been watching them all day. I see them down there keeping an eye on me. So I'm going to start with something that Director Davis gave me on the very first day when he came to see me at my house. And he told me about a poem. And that poem has stuck with me since we met. So I'm going to read that poem to you guys, and then we will talk a little bit from there. So the poem is called The Dash by Linda Ellis. And it goes like this. I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on the tombstone from beginning to the end. He noted that the first date came, the date of birth, and he spoke the following dates with tears. But he said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For the dash represents all the time that he spent alive on earth. And now only those who loved him know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that can still be rearranged. If we could just slow down enough to consider what's true and real, and always try to understand the way other people feel. And be less quick to anger, show appreciation more, and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect, and more often wear a smile, remembering that this special dash might only last a little while. So when your eulogy is being read, with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say and how you spent your dash? Thank you, Director. That poem spoke to me. And it is the epitome of Tommy. So what I'm gonna do for the next 45 minutes to an hour, you guys are good, right? Don't need any snacks? Maybe a little less than that. I'm going to tell you how Thomas Michael Weeks Jr. spent his dash. First off, he was a loving father, to not only to his kids, but also his stepchildren. He enjoyed everything from watching Patrick when he was performing, to his nightly goodnight hugs and I love you to Abby. He would make Dunkin' Donuts runs for Mackenzie even after Mom said no. And he took Brady to DC to see his first Capitals game. It was not only our Coast family at home, but his entire extended family that he'd want to go visit in Maryland. He loved everything in Maryland. Ocean City was his Mecca. I think it's Myrtle Beach in the East Coast, but he said there's something special about Ocean City. It's different. I'm a North Carolina girl. We'll leave it there, but he loved Ocean City. He also loved his three brothers and would often talk about their childhood and what a house with 4 boys looked like. He always mentioned how strong his mother was and how much he adored his dad. Now, if you're one of Tommy's friends, you know he would do anything to make you feel special, insisting you drink a Guinness or have a glass of whiskey. He would be inviting you to play golf or come to the lake or just give you a call to see how you were doing. So at this point, I'm going to ask each of you to give me a little bit of grace, because now I'm going to tell you about Tommy, the husband. So many people have referred to him as a hero, but before this tragedy, he was already a hero to me and our family. Tommy loved my parents and my family like his own. He was always want to do things to help out, to prove that he was worthy to be my husband to my father, whose approval he was very concerned to have. What he could never comprehend, that it was his devotion and love to me that made my father most proud to have him as a son-in-law. I woke up every single day to a man telling me he loved me. You're the most beautiful woman. How lucky I am to have you. What he didn't realize is I was truly the lucky one. I had my protector always watching out for me so much that I could not walk on a sidewalk without him being on the outside where the cars were. I received love and affection all the time. He never let me be more than an arm's length away so that he could hold my hand or rub my back. It is all these small things on top of the really big things that he did that helped me be a better person. He made me feel invincible. He truly believed I could do anything. And when someone sees you through that lens, you really start to believe it. When I met my husband, I lived in a bubble where I had no idea what law enforcement sees every day. It was a happy bubble. No violence, no criminals, nothing that the world sees was in my bubble. And as I look out on this crowd, I see so many law enforcement officers from all over the country here to pay their respects. And it is a clear reminder of the sacrifice these men and women make every day to protect our bubble. If you do not serve, or in a family that has individuals who do serve, you sleep peacefully at night, knowing you're protected by many brave men and women. But more importantly, that protection comes at a cost for each and every one of their families. So I've been asked, what can we do? How can we help? What do you need? Tommy's mission in life was to make the world safer and fight for justice. So what do I need? I need this country to come together, to support our law enforcement officers so they can continue to fight for justice like my husband did. Thank an officer every single day. Encourage our children to show police officers the proper respect. This tragedy was the result of someone who did not have any regard for human life. My sincere hope is that people will remember Thomas Michael Weeks, Jr. for years and years to come, and that memory will make them want to lift up his fellow brothers and sisters in any law enforcement capacity. When tragedy hits, you have two choices: give up and be defeated, or use the tragedy as an opportunity to make a change. For those of you who don't know me, there was no option. Number two is the only option for me. I want to help them make a change in our country for the good, so that we come together and work together to see the positives we have in this country and the people who sacrifice so that we can have them. I have been personally humbled by all the kindness this country has shown me during this difficult time. I have received prayers, cards, calls, food, and food, and food. I've received extremely generous donations to help our family, but most importantly, I hope my experience can give some of you a renewed faith in humanity. My hearts and prayers go out to the other families who lost their loved ones and the families that are still trying to heal from this tragedy. I need to give a very, very special thanks to the United States Marshal Service for how much support they have showed me. From the moment I arrived at the hospital, the Critical Incident Response Team, as they call it, the CIRT team, was there to help me through this journey, and they have not left my side since. Maybe bossed me a few times, but it was for good reasons. And if you know anything about me, I don't like to be told what to do. But some people have mastered the ability to tell me what to do, and I actually listen. So my company's trying to hire him to see if he can do that in other capacities. Approximately 50 people have been working day and night to put this together, this event. This did not happen by one person. This can't happen by one person. They've spent time away from their families, and every time I say thank you, they say, "It is my honor. It is my honor." They worked around the clock to ensure that they could do anything to ease my pain, they would do it. Tommy is resting peacefully because he knows that his brothers and sisters are surrounding us with love and support, and we are honored to be a part of the U.S. Marshal Service family. So I want to leave you with something that a dear friend shared with me because she was inspired by the U.S. Marshal Badge Star. And as I look out in the crowd, I see so many stars staring back at me from all the different agencies you work for, making this even more special. If you look up at the sky at night, which Tommy and I often did looking over the lake, sometimes you will notice some stars just aren't like others. In a universe full of trillions of stars, some just shine brighter than the rest. They seem to flow, to shimmer, to attract light from all around them. And the largest and brightest of these stars actually die before all of the others. They just burn too fast for the universe to hold them. And in the end, they sacrifice all the parts that made them whole so that other stars can be born from their passing. Tommy's star certainly burned fast and shone bright and leaves a legacy that will continue to shape and inspire others. So it's with my sincere appreciation to each of you for you being here, for supporting me, for continuing my message that we will support our law enforcement. We will make a difference. My husband's tragedy cannot be just another death. It has to be for something bigger. And the only way I can do that is with a group of people here to help me spread this message as far as I can get it, and I can be very loud. So I will close with, to my husband, I will love you forever, my very sweet man. Thank you.